back to my channel, Erica's Diary. If you are new here, welcome. This is where I'm going to be talking to you about my journey to healing, things that I've been through, things that I'm going through, in hopes that it resonates with you and possibly can help you too. So make sure you subscribe to this video, give this video a like, and let's get into it. So I put the title of this video as FOMO, fear of missing out. So you guys, I never really understood what that really meant. Like, what do you feel like you're missing out on? But I'm gonna take this deeper because I feel like I've been dealing with this like right now, like in my life, present day. So what I mean by fear of missing out is a question for you. So have you ever felt like things in your life are not happening, either not happening the way that you want them to, or not happening at all, or because they're not happening at all or the way that you want them to, that you're missing out on something? So that's where I'm struggling it right now, is just getting kind of like anxious about certain things, because as I've always said to you guys at the very beginning, my very first video about my vision for 2022, of course that is my vision, but I've also always include God on it. I always make sure I pray. I have put, Bible verses with each part of my life from that vision board and prayed over it, and none of it seems to be working. And when I say working, I mean obviously God is always working. God has already worked it out. However, I'm talking about us, or me, when we are trying and it's not happening, we get frustrated. So I've been dealing with a lot of like anxiety and frustration about things that have not been happening, and then feeling like I'm missing out. Example. So of course society tells us that we should be this, and this by this age. We should have a degree and be married and have kids and do this and do this and do this. That's what society says. However, I do want those things, right? So especially for me, the older I get, I've never really been one of those like girls that wants a whole bunch of kids and and can't wait to like be married, and I know everything that I want in my wedding. Like, never have had that idea. But now that I'm getting older, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Why am I not married? Why don't I have a family? Why am I not established in the career field that I've always wanted to be established in? Why am I not, in the financial position that I had always planned to be by now? Things like that. It's like you see where you want to be and you're not there yet. So it causes frustration in that in between. So I was literally sobbing in my prayer closet yesterday. And I wasn't looking like this. It was literally a mess, because I always believe that we should go to God with an earnest prayer. Be honest. You don't always have to feel like you have to like say the right things in prayer. So you can literally be honest and say, God, I'm frustrated. And I literally said, God, I'm frustrated. I am not happy. And when I started to think about, okay, Erica, why are you not happy? Because the outside person will look at you and be like, girl, what are you not happy about? Things could definitely be worse. And that's true. Things could definitely be worse. And I am definitely super blessed and grateful and thankful. But that doesn't mean frustration don't exist. When you are trying and you feel like you're doing everything that you should be doing, that you're supposed to be doing, and when it's not working, it gets you to question yourself. And then you feel like because you don't have that career path going, because you don't have your business taking off like you thought it would, because you don't have that person in your life that could potentially be your spouse, because you don't have a family of your own, you think you're missing out on something. And so because I have been so focused on the negative, and what I mean by negative is like what I don't have, what's not going on, what's not working. Because I also sat in my prayer and said, God, I thought that I was doing what you asked for me to do. I thought that I had the green light on building a new brand, starting a business, applying for these other jobs in a totally different career field. I thought that, you told me, I can move forward with my healing and open up my heart to someone. And it's like all of these things that I'm doing, and it's like, but nothing is moving. That's what I'm seeing. And so that's why I had to realize that it all goes back to faith. And I've been hearing a lot of messages and teachings on it's okay to not know. It's okay to trust without knowing. And I'm a person, I gotta know. Like my personality, I gotta know. I gotta know details. I gotta know the reason why. And I gotta know, it gotta make sense. But that is not how faith works. Faith doesn't make sense. It doesn't. So I've really been challenged in this area of faith and not feeling like you have to be happy all the time. Because what I'm learning is God is not interested in making me happy all the time. Now I can have joy, which comes from him, and have joy in any circumstance. But God is more so interested in my growth than my happiness. And that's a hard place to be in. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, God, like, I don't want to miss out. Like, I don't want all my friends' kids to be like 13 and then I'm still, waiting for one. Like, but why does that matter? Because if that's what God's time is for me, that's what God's time is for me. That may not be what Erica's time is for me. And that's what's frustrating, is we get into our own time frames. And we start to think that sometimes we even start things or doing things or going after things or people or places because of a fear of missing out. Because you feel like, okay, well, this is what people are doing. This may be the way that I should be going. Now, there's nothing wrong with just trying things and trial and error. There's nothing wrong with that, because I feel like how else will you know what you should be doing if you don't try? But I feel like there needs to be a purpose behind trying it and not just doing it because you feel like you're going to miss out on something. So for me, in my not being happy, it's like God is saying, like, you don't have to, like, happiness is so fickle because it's tied to happenings. Like, what's happening makes you happy, right? So because emotions are so, like, that's part of just being so fickle. So one day you up, next day you down. Like, you cannot rely on feelings and emotions. It's just not a reliable source. And that just brings me to when people say, oh, just follow your heart, just follow your heart, just follow your heart. Well, I'm learning that ain't biblical. Like, yeah, that's cute and that looks really nice on like a little, canvas to hang up on your wall, like follow your heart, like that looks cute. But we're supposed to guard our hearts, because our hearts will get us in some trouble. My heart has definitely got me in places I had no business being in. That my heart has got me to stay in places too long that I had no business being in. So it's almost like you should unfollow your heart. So I think that the hardest thing for me as well with the fear of missing out is waiting. And God definitely has me waiting in every area. Waiting on my career, waiting on my career, waiting on my love life, waiting on finances, waiting on answers on when to move, waiting on answers on what to do next in my business, waiting on answers on what to do next in just anything. Waiting. And what really matters is how you wait. So like I said earlier, it's not really about God has to make you feel all fuzzy and happy, because like I said, when you're focused on what you don't have, what ain't happening, what you tried, what didn't work, of course you're not going to be happy, because that's what you're focused on. So what I'm learning is that it's about having joy regardless, but sometimes that feeling of or fear of missing out is just fear in general. Because if you really think about it, you know, what I'm learning is that like your life is already planned out. It's already planned out. So what do you think you're missing out on if it's already planned out? And just because somebody gets that career before you, just because someone's business takes off before you, just because someone's gets married before you, has a baby before you, doesn't mean you're missing out on it. It just means it's not your time. So timing, waiting, all of that is so hard, especially when you feel like you're ready, or you feel like you're tired and you just don't even know how much longer you're gonna wait. But I've realized, and what I've been learning, I can kick, I can scream, I can throw air punches. God's timing ain't changing. He ain't be like, oh shoot, she done threw some air punches, let me hurry up and move this up to next month instead of next year like I had planned. No. He is not our genie in a bottle, is what guys, I know I'm being funny, but I'm just sharing what I've been learning. And it is very hard, because like one of the things that I have done to help me like kind of get out of that mindset of like, what am I missing out on? Is social media. Like I just disappeared off social media for 2 months and it was glorious. It was so like refreshing, because you're not seeing what everybody's highlight reel is, because we don't know what's really going on behind that retina display. So you're not seeing that, and you're not, you know, subconsciously getting into comparing yourself to people and what they're doing and where they're at in life, or what they're making it seem like. So if you are dealing with the same thing I'm dealing with, and you haven't like kind of detox from social media, I would suggest that you do that. If you are one of those people that, you know, you always on social media, like just try to at least scale it back, because I'm telling you, it really does help if you can just like even just stay off it. Like I deleted the whole app off my phone. That's how I was how far off of it I was, because I was just like, this is starting to get unhealthy in my mind when I'm seeing, you know, I think that was the seed to feeling like I'm missing out. And you know, everybody always says, you know, what's for you is for you. That's true. That is very true. But sometimes we want to be like, well, when is it for me? When is it for me? I'm tired of waiting. And but like I said, you have to realize that it's a choice to be happy. It's a choice to believe that things will change for you. It's a choice to believe that you are not missing out. And so for me, I have to literally work at remembering the positive things, because I cannot sit here and be hard on myself or beat myself up about not being where I feel like I should be, or not having what I think I should have. And it's hard, and especially in the like relationship realm, that is something that I feel like I've preyed on the most, because I've been damaged the most in that area of my life. So I feel like that's really hard too, especially when all you've seen is like BS in that area. And so it's hard to believe that like there is that time or that timing for you. So it's just me learning and growing and remembering that I ain't gotta be happy all the time. And if I'm sitting here telling God, I want what you want for me, I want what you want for me, if this is what he wants for me, then that's better than what I want for me. And so I just have to get out of my own head, my own ego, my own feelings, my own emotions, and really trust. Really trust. It's so easy to be happy when we're getting what we think we want. When we're getting our way, when things are falling into place and things are going how we want them to go, because we out here making our own decisions and making things happen on our own. It's easy to be happy when you have those and you call it a blessing. But can you be happy when ain't nothing going the way that you want? When all the pieces are scattered, ain't nothing falling into place. Can you still choose happiness? Can you still choose to be joyful and grateful? It's hard, y'all. But I just want to encourage you that you and myself are not missing out. You are exactly where you're supposed to be at this moment. And I hope that encourages you, because when I say stuff, I'm really talking to myself and encouraging myself. So I thank you guys for watching this video and listening to me kind of, go on my little rant about it. But I will keep you guys updated. And so make sure you subscribe to my channel so you will never miss a new diary entry or a new video. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.